Perfect timing.
Good evening, everyone. This is Kilo Oscar 4 Uniform Oscar Romeo calling the Metro Richmond Aries Net for Thursday, December 12th. Your net control station this evening is KO4UOR, and my name is Scott. If at any time during this net you should need to relay emergency traffic, please use the word break, and the net will yield for your traffic and assist in any way we can. Metro Richmond Aries is part of the ARRL and the Virginia section ARES program. This net meets weekly on Thursday at 1900 hours on this, the 145430 repeater. The purpose of this net is for training and announcements for the amateur radio community with an emphasis on emergency communication. We ask that all participating stations follow standard net procedures that would be used during an active emergency net. There is no requirement to be an ARES member. All amateurs who are within range of this repeater, regardless of location or affiliation, with proper license class, are invited and encouraged to participate in this net. This is KO4UOR with the Metro Richmond Aries net. Before we get started, some general housekeeping. This is a directed net, which means stations must be acknowledged by the net control operator before proceeding with comments or discussion. One feature of this net is the discussion of the day. The discussion of the day is intended to be a way to learn more about amateur radio, emergency preparedness, and general safety. So we hope everyone will participate. This week, I'm going to give you a choice of two topics. You can address one or the other or both. First choice, what do you do or what have you done to bring non-hams to the hobby? What do you do or what have you done to bring non-hams to the hobby? And the second, have you ever communicated with a non-ham on a ham band, or have you ever had a non-ham operate your station under your supervision? So, let's go back to the first choice was, what have you done or what are you doing to encourage non-hams to join the hobby? And the other was, have you ever included a non-ham in a QSO, whether they're operating your station or the station you're in a QSO with? I will be taking check-ins in two groups, mobile and portable stations, and then all other stations. When checking in, I only need your call sign phonetically with proper phonetic alphabet and your first name. I will get your location and a received signal report when I call you for comments. Struggling with the script. Let me scroll down. If you are an Aries, Skywarn, or MCOM official, please identify yourself as such. Let's get started with check-ins. Mobile and portable stations. Are there any mobile or portable stations wishing to check in? I need your call sign phonetically and your first name.
This is Kilo, Quebec 4, November, Sierra Romeo. Name here is Bill, Baker, India, Lima, in and out. Alpha 4, Yankee Alpha, KA4YAA, Eric, mobile.
Kilo Quebec 4 Uniform Echo India, Jason, mobile.
This is Kilo 4, Charlie Papa Echo, John.
Great. Net Control acknowledges KQ4NSR, Bill, in and out, KA4YAA, Eric, KQ4UEI, Jason, and KO4CPE, John. Thank you for checking in this evening, Bill. Let's go now to Eric, KA4YAA. Where are you this evening? And how are you reading me? And then please share your comments with the net.
This is Kilo Alpha 4 Yankee Alpha Eric. I'm on I-295 southbound, just past Staples Mill, heading toward Mechanicsville. And I've got everybody that I've heard so far has been loud and clear. Everybody sounds great to answer your question. I do a lot of off-roading, and so I have MRA and ham. And most of the off-roaders are not ham guys, and they're very intrigued with the rig I have and the fact that I can talk farther than a mile. And so I'm not sure if any of them have actually gotten their ham license, but they do like it when I can call up a repeater that's 20 miles away and get through. And so maybe I have lit a fire under it. Otherwise, I just irritate them talking about amateur radio a lot.
All right, very good, Eric, very good. Your signal is nice and strong. Yeah, no noise on your signal at all, not even picket fencing at the moment. So thank you for checking in. And yeah, off-roading, GMRS is big for them, but wow, only having a 1 mile range, yeah, we'd never stand for that, although we sometimes do when we've got obstructions. All right, next let's go to Jason, KQ4UEI. Good evening, Jason. Where are you and how do you copy me?
Kilo Quebec 4 Uniform Echo India, Jason. Copy is good. And at Western Express Terminal, I'm a road truck driver, and also I'm a VE. And I do talk on the MRS also, too. And I try to talk to non-hams and try to bring them in this hobby, and then I test them out. And I read you real clear. No noise, no picket fencing.
All right, thank you very much, Jason. Yeah, Western Express Terminal, you are a VE, and you also use GMRS. Very cool. Yeah, there's probably no better way hobby than being a volunteer examiner. I have not taken that step, but I might. This is KO4UOR calling the Metro Richmond Aries Net. Next on our list is KO4CPE. John, where are you this evening? How do you read me? And please share your comments.
Good evening, Scott. I'm at Portable at my home PPH in the Glen Allen Shortstop area. Reading you loud and clear over the receiver. I do regularly chat with folks who see me with the portable units in particular about what they are and what they're capable of, and haven't gotten anyone interested yet to take the bite, but a couple nibbles anyhow. In fact, one earlier today was about to do it. I was working on one of the radios. I'm fairly new to the hobby, but continuing to listen to the net and to learn more and more every time. And I appreciate the opportunity. KO4CP, back to you, Scott.
All right. Thank you very much, John. Yeah, your signal is pretty good. There's a moderate amount of just white noise on your signal, but you found a good spot to operate from, I would say, because it was consistent. And let's see. Okay. Are there additional mobile or portable stations wishing to check in? If so, please call now with your call sign phonetically and your first name.
Net control.
Go ahead.
This is Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Golf, Jody. This is Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot, Mike, Ron, Romeo, Oscar, November.
All right. Net control acknowledges KQ4OGG, Jody, and KD6FFM, Ron. Good evening, Jody. The discussion this evening is either of two topics. What are you doing, or what have you done to encourage non-hams to pursue ham radio? And the other is, have you ever had a QSO in which either you or the other ham had a non-ham on the air under your or their supervision? KQ4OGG. Jody, please tell us where you are this evening, how you're reading me, and please share your comments.
This is Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Golf. Yeah, I read you real well. I'm right here in Richmond, close to downtown on Richmond Highway. I am mobile as well, and a big truck sitting here waiting to get a flat tire fixed. I think it was Jason on the other side that said he was a truck driver as well. Yeah, I like to monitor the 2-meter call channel, out on the roads, but talked to a few guys here and there, but it's pretty quiet out there. I'd be interested to know if that other truck driver has, if he monitors the 2-meter channel, because I kind of try that way to spread the word about ham. Of course, they already know if they're monitoring that, but talking to other people who are not truck drivers and trying to get people involved with it. And actually, I went to Beaufort County Community College in North Carolina, where I got my truck driver's license, and try to encourage a few guys to get their ham license. But
maybe when we get to the end of the net, we can get you and Jason connected. That was Jody, KQ4OGG. You are full gliding into the repeater. Sorry to hear that you have a flat tire. I hope it is fixed very quickly. And Beaufort County. I married a girl from Little Washington, North Carolina. So I have a pretty good idea of where Beaufort County Community College is. Small world. All right. Next, let's go to KD6FFM. Good evening, Ron. Where are you? How do you copy me? And please share your comments with the net.
KD6FFM, Ron Romeo Oscar November. I have a launcher. I am in Western Morocco. I do have one person in the church that's going to take his ham license test. He's going to go off 3 licenses. As far as non-hams, I haven't been involved in that, but I believe it or not, I still got my original CB license, both of them, and my original ham license. And I tried to get on earlier, but I have a couple of my batteries in my radio backwards, and I was wondering why the screen was blinking, but I'm ready to go now.
Did you say you were in a lawn chair?
All right, you sound good, Ron. You sound good. And I knew you'd be here. I was wondering why we hadn't heard from you already, but glad you got in and got the batteries turned around correctly. And going back to Jody's comment about 14652, yeah, when traveling, I will often throw out my call and try to find somebody going the same direction as me. I sort of did. Last Saturday, I was coming home from the Skyline Drive and connected with Al out in Mineral. I think his call is KG4AGT or KF4AGT. He was mobile on 64, headed eastbound just like me. And we first connected on the Bear Den Mountain repeater, and then because we were both interested in simplex, we QSY'd to 14652. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, I agree with Jody. Very rarely do you ever have anybody come back to you. If they're going the opposite way, or if they're stationary, you're not going to have a long QSO, but you can exchange calls and signal reports and so on. But yeah, I agree. I wish more people would not just monitor 14652, but come back to stations that they can hear. And you don't have to hear them as well as you hear stations on the repeater. If you can pull them out, they'd be grateful for you to come back to them. All right, that takes us to the next part of our check-in process. This is KO4UOR calling the Metro Richmond Aries Net. It's now time for general check-ins. Anybody wishing to check into the net, please call with your call sign phonetically and your first name. Please call now.
This is G4 Zulu Alpha Kilo John.
Kilo 4 Echo X-ray X-ray K4E double X Don in Chester. 10 Kilo 4 Oscar Whiskey Uniform KK4OW Mike. This is Kilo
for Kilo Alpha Delta, Randy, and Western Enrico.
Net control, this is. Kilo 4, Alpha, Romeo X-Ray.
This is Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Echo Foxtrot, Mark. This is Kilo Bravo 4, Charlie Foxtrot, Papa, Greg.
This Whiskey 4 Bravo Kilo Radio Sean. This is Whiskey 4 Mike Golf Alpha Brewer.
Wow.
All right. We more than doubled our list just then. Net Control acknowledges W4ZAK John, K4EXX Don, KK4OWU Mike, KO4KAD Randy, K4ARX William,
That's me.
KQ4MEF Mark, KB4CFP, I believe that's Greg, W4BKR Sean, and the trustee for the Metropolitan Repeater Association and this repeater, W4MGA Brewer. All right, just to let you know what the topics are this evening. One is, have you ever been in a part of a QSO in which a non-ham was operating your station or the other station under the supervision of the ham? And the other topic choice is, what do you do or what have you done to encourage people who are not already hams to join the hobby? All right, let's go to John, W4ZAK. Please give us your location, a signal report, and share your comments.
Good evening, Scott. Good evening, everyone on the net. This is John in North Richmond. I read you loud and clear. I don't have many comments. There was one time I did let my nephew operate under my supervision, and that's when I was testing out the handy talkies for one of the special events we use. And that's about all I have. Good evening, everyone on the net. Good evening, Scott. Have a good day. W4ZAK, I'll be clear.
Yeah, that's great, John. That's great. Get your nephew on the air. Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but when I activate Parks on the Air, I kind of try to fly under the radar. I don't draw attention to myself. But I probably should, and I may eventually get one of those flags or signs that say Parks on the Air. And I think I'd also want to have maybe a little one-page document or maybe a small poster with my call sign and things like the things that kids that can read could recite when they operate for you. Like have them call CQ Parks on the Air and give your call sign, etc. But haven't done that. A little bit out of my comfort zone, but I think I'd like to try that. All right, next on our list is Don, K4EXX. Good evening, Don. You said you're in Chester. How do you read me, and please share your comments with the net, sir.
Good evening, Scott.
What the heck?
KO4UOR. This is K4EXX over in Chester. I've got a real good signal on you, and you're good, coming in good and loud. For the talk of the evening, I have a grandson-in-law that's helped me program and get some of my stuff set up. And I guess he got interested in it, or either he didn't like being outdone, but he went and got his tech license. And he took the general test at the same time and missed it by a couple of questions. But he hadn't studied for none of this. He just knew it already, which is great. As far as other hams, I did help a fellow ham and encouraging him to go for his extra class license and gave him one of my books that covers all the questions, and I hope that helped him. I do know he ended up getting his extra class license, which is great. And that's about all I've done. I just kind of monitor and listen. I don't talk very often, but I do try to monitor it all day. So I will say 73 to everybody on the net. I hope everybody has a good rest of the week and a good weekend. This is KO4UR. This is K4EXX. Back to net.
All right, very good, Don. Yeah, so your grandson-in-law was helping you out with your radios as a non-ham, and then got interested, didn't study, but took and passed the test, and missed the general class license by 2 questions. That's pretty impressive. And I'm not sure, but I think I know the ham you're talking about that got his extra class license with your help. And in fact, I believe you gave him 2 books. And I thank you very much for that. All right. I don't know if anybody remembers, oh gosh, what's his call sign? K4LMN or something like that. Haven't heard him on the air in a number of months. His name is Tyler. He lives out in the Powhatan area, Goochland. But his daughter, Molly, is very interested and does a really nice job on the radio. And I remember this was at least 2 years ago, hearing her on with some other hams. I didn't get a chance to talk to Molly myself, although I did meet her in person at a field day event later. But that's pretty cool. All right, let's go to Mike, KK4OWU. Good evening, Mike. Where are you? How copy? And please share your comments.
Yes, KK4OW, Mike. I'm up here in Glen Allen. Doing well. Thank you for doing the net tonight. As far as trying to get new hams, I'm very active with the Rats Club and their Elmer program, which has an outreach program. And we've got a lot of information there. If somebody wants to check it out, just go to the website. As far as having somebody on the running my station with my supervision, I have not done that yet, but I've got a son and daughter-in-law that are being interested, and I picked them up a technician's manual to study. One thing of interest, yesterday, I was able to listen to the International Space Station with their conversation, the school up in Purcellville, Virginia. It was very cool, very interesting. Hopefully I can program my radio and get them on a bypass when they're not talking to a school per se, and maybe get a QSL card. But anyway, 73 is everybody. Thanks for doing that. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. KK4OWU.
Mike. Yes, and I also was able to hear the QSO between the Purcellville School and a lady astronaut. I guess she may be the astronaut that got stranded because the Boeing spacecraft was sent back to Earth empty because they weren't sure it was working properly or would be safe. I was not able to hear the students ask their questions, maybe because I didn't figure out what frequency they were on. But anyway, I did follow her answers, and she did an excellent, excellent job. And I want to say thank you to Mark, KQ4MEF, for posting on the general hashtag in RVA Ham Slack. That's how I heard about it, and that's how several of us heard about it. That was great. All right, this is KO4UOR. Next, we go to the Grand Poobah, Net Manager Randy, KO4KAD.
No.
KO4UOR, KO4KAD. Yeah, the name is Randy. I'm in Western Henrico. I'll read you loud and clear. No need for the introduction. Anyways, good to hear you, Scott. Thanks for running the net. And let's see. So yeah, I've got a couple buddies that they've been toying around with it and taking interest, and then they lose interest, and I keep pushing them. And let's see, as far as I've never let nobody has operated my station in the home QTH. Now I have had people with me mobile listen in, and that's kind of what sparked their interest. Again, somebody mentioned that, so much greater distance hitting the repeater than we had back in the day with CBs. So that kind of sparked their interest. And then you mentioned POTA. Yeah, I get quite a few people on POTA activations ask me what I'm doing, and some people just, I tell them and that's good enough and they walk away, and other people are really, really into it. So you never know who you may influence. But yeah, we should all be trying to get more people into the hobby. Thanks for running the net tonight. Good topic. And 7-3 from KO4KAD. Back to net control.
Yeah, very good, Randy. Very good. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, only once have I activated a park and not done so from the cab of my pickup truck. So I think you usually operate from the bed of your pickup truck, and that makes you more accessible to folks walking by. You can meet lots of nice park rangers by activating parks as well. And when I called you a Grand Poobah, I was picturing you in the maroon fez that the Shriners used to wear in the Christmas parade. Maybe they still do. All right, next let's go downtown to William, K4ARF. Good evening, William. Please share your comments with the net.
Truck 2 in Battalion 1. Fire alarm. 2, South 17th Street.
Net control K4ARX here.
Cross Street,
Not
Surrey,
including the
Main
repeater
Street,
here,
and
yourself,
East
sir.
Cherry Street.
And
Channel
see here,
2.
same place as
Time
usual.
out.
Same things going
1933.
on. As far as the topic of the night goes, you all know that I run the YouTube channel American Radio X-Ray, and that's basically just for sharing with the folks who are interested in what's going on, not specifically here locally, but how things work. Obviously, the nets are usually on there twice a week, and some of the things that go on during the week. Sometimes they're simplex, I do get to catch folks down on 490. Often do get to listen to, of course, every day I listen to 146.520. I'm listening to it right now just in case somebody comes by here through the downtown area. We can have a little conversation that way off the net. Have talked to operators, young operators, mostly during the field day, and sometimes during the winter field day. And most of the time, they plop the kids down in front of the microphone there, and they read the script and they do what they're supposed to do. And I guess that's fun. But once you start asking questions, it's usually like a 1 or 2 word answer, and that's about it. Because they haven't got ready to converse yet, but it's all fun. It's all fun talking to them sometimes when they start out like that. And sometimes they'll pick it up and they'll carry on with it and move further into it like we expect them to. Back over to you, Net Control. Oh, one more thing. OGG, if you want, I am listening to Simplex. So at this point, or after the net, we could talk. Maybe you're close enough. I think you're probably somewhere between 2 and 4 miles here, and might be close enough. Anyways, Net Control K4ARX. And it's in the.
All right. Thank you for that, William. Yeah. Let's see. I think the only time I've had somebody operate under my supervision, it was my daughter. She was in the car with me, and I was talking to Rob, KB2OYI, and somehow or another we got on the subject of sharks or sharks' teeth. And my daughter is very, very into sharks and sharks' teeth, even though she is a young adult. And I put her on with Rob, so that was pretty cool. But she still hasn't gotten her license. Anyway, next on the list is Mark, KQ4MEF. Please tell us where you are, how you read me, and share your comments with the net.
KO4UOR, KQ4MEF, Mark, Old Glen Allen, near 295 at Woodland Road. Receiving you through the repeater, loud and clear, sounding good.
Kilowatt 4, Alpha Romeo X-Ray, K4ARX.
I usually don't try to advertise too much on the radio or playing radio, but people do ask, and I think after 5 minutes of me talking, they're probably sorry they did ask. But I really try to encourage it a lot. Never know when it will really be needed in an emergency situation or something like that. It's always nice to have it. I do try to make a point of when I'm chasing POTA and on HF, kind of spinning through the bands. A lot of times you'll hear radio clubs at school, similar to the space station, and you can tell that the students are calling out. And I always make a point of trying to connect with them. So showing that much interest, knowing how far they can walk and that type of stuff. As far as encouraging folks, like I said, I always talk about it, and my son is getting involved with it. So I've actually gone through the gauntlet on the government site, FCC site, got his number, and has a MRA license. So he's trying to study up to get his technician license. So that's really exciting. I'm not sure how much time he's going to have because he stays pretty busy running the kids around. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it back over to you, Scott. KO4UOR. This is KQ4MEF.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark. You sound good too. Glad to hear your son may be headed toward a ham license. Got his GMRF. Next is his ham license. And something you said that triggered a thought. Let's see if I can pull it out of the gray matter. No, of course not. I cannot. Anyway, this is Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform Oscar Romeo, Scott, calling the Metro Richmond Aries net. Next on our list is Greg, 4CFP. Greg, please tell me if I got your name right or wrong, and please share your comments.
Thanks, guys. Your company is good. A little bit of hiss on the signal, operating on the possibility. And you've got the name right, guys. Called KP4, chocolate fried potatoes. And the district emergency coordinator is Gary. Anyway, I've been trying to, after you scrolling through all this stuff, I wanted to comment on this, comment on that. Now I'm sort of lost the chain and such. Anyway, for one of your topics, I operated the Dakota station for King George for field base in South East and had non-ham and talking about the ham radio. Our club is the RPA resistance local club in my area. Is going to put on a three-course training for technician class. So I forwarded that information to my also observation. I forwarded that information to my emergency manager of the county and put it out in email blast so you have county officials and anybody else can get I can't mention talking to Al on this one. I know Al. Anyway, back to that.
Okay, thank you very much, Greg. That was Kilo Bravo 4, chocolate fried potatoes. And yeah, Greg, we got most of what you said. There is quite a bit of noise on your signal, but that's to be expected coming in from Spotsylvania. Sometimes we hear you better, and just not tonight. And GOTA, get on the air. That's usually a feature of field day setups, and I had signed up one time to be the GOTA operator for one of the clubs here. It was either Williamsburg or one of the local clubs. It was either Williamsburg or Powhatan. But for whatever reason, I think they didn't have enough people sign up, so they decided not to have the GOTA station. But I think that is a really great idea for any club that is doing field day in a public area like a park, because you're going to get lots of visitors. Get them on the air. And I think it's also for, well, really any station, any operator that isn't signed up for one of the other, transceivers that are being operated. So, yeah, that's a good one, GOTA. All right, next on our list is W4BKR. Good evening, Sean. Please share your comments with the net.
KO4UR, W4BKR. Good evening, Net. Sean here, way up in Ashland. I've got you coming in loud and clear, absolutely beautiful up here. As far as the questions today, like Eric earlier, I do a lot of off-roading with non-hams, and I've turned a few of them over, not so much by the distance, but showing them things like APRS and how I could get weather reports and get text messages out, stuff like that. I also, every year on Veterans Day, I do a public outreach up at Shenandoah River State Park with the park rangers there to get people out talking about ham radio, which is great, and it lets me do POTA and go camping for a weekend. As far as anyone non-ham using my station under my supervision, I've never done that, but I've been on the receiving end of it with Parks on the Air, talking to Boy Scouts for JOTA, for Jamboree on the Air station. And that's always fun and interesting. I think I wasted an entire 3 hours in the park once just talking to a bunch of Boy Scouts up in Jersey. So it's fun. It's nice getting them on the air. Some of them are timid. Some of them just want to talk your ear off. But it's great to hear new people on there either way. And that's really all I have. So, Tech Control, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Sean. You've done a tremendous amount to promote the hobby, specifically Parks on the Air. For those that don't know it, Sean is a local, I don't know if coordinator is the right word or not, but my hat's off to Sean because he was instrumental in having added to the activatable parks the Virginia Bird and Wildlife State Trail, which I think includes about 46 or 48 local parks, not state or national, but local, including Poe Green Park, Bryan Park in the city of Richmond, Deep Run Park, Robious Landing Park, and so we're spoiled now. We don't have to travel far to activate a park. All right, and next on our list is Brewer, W4MGA. I feel, what's the word?
Honored?
I feel like I shouldn't have saved you for last, but that's where you checked in. Anyway, good evening, Brewer. Please share your comments with the net, sir.
Yeah, KO4UR, Scott, for MGA. No problem. I'm just sitting here, there's 2 or 3 cats in my lap. Yeah, so the subject of the evening is, yes, I've done that many times. I've been a ham since 1967, I think. But most recent success was getting my son to talk over, I guess, his repeater, one of the 2-meter repeaters, and he turned around and got his ticket and his call. So score on that one. And like the other station, I've sat and entertained a dozen Boy Scouts from jamborees and various other Boy Scout activities. That's always fun. So it's very effective. It was more effective decades ago when nobody had a cell phone in their pocket and worldwide communication wasn't so cheap and easy. Back when I was a kid, I remember when my first Morse code contact was in Russia at 3 o'clock in the morning as a novice, and I was just blown away. Anyway, so that's on that subject. Another little bit of history today. I went to the board meeting at the McDonald's at up there in Bon Air. Met with about 30 hams up there. Then we went over to the state police site, the VDOT tower, which is where most of the repeaters started back in the 70s, and there's still a smattering of digipeaters over there. And then we went down to the Channel 6 tower, where this one is, to make a measurement on the 22442. There was a report from KG4HOT and Jason Towski. We might have had a noise floor issue, so we made some spectrum analyzer measurements, looked at some mystery antennas that are up there, did a quick check at 145.43, which, by the way, if Chocolate Fried Potatoes is out there, we may be running at half power on 543 here tonight. I'll take another look at that tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for running the net, Scott. It's running real smooth. 73 is KO4UR, net control, W4MGA clear.
All right. Thank you very much, Brewer. Brewer's the trustee for this repeater, and I guess the president of the Metro Richmond,
Metropolitan Repeater Association.
Metropolitan Repeater Association. That's it. That's pretty cool. And for those that don't know, Brewer mentioned the Thursday morning board meeting. Takes place at McDonald's in Stony Point, and board is spelled B-O-R-E-D. But that sounds really cool. You had a great turnout and got to do 2 really cool field trips. VDEM at the state police headquarters, and then up into town to the Channel 6 tower. Love to have been there. All right. That takes us to the bottom of the list. Are there additional stations wishing to check into the Metro Richmond Aries net? If so, please call with your call sign phonetically and your first name.
That would have been a cool field trip. I was shopping. If I'd known all that, I would have turned on a 2-meter radio. It'd been a little help.
Okay, nothing heard. I wanted to relate one more story, and that is about non-ham operation. This was probably about 2 years ago, maybe a little more than 2 years ago. I was on a QSO with Taylor, K04KQK, and he was out and about with his wife, and I guess we had been talking about purchasing radios and so on, and how much we had, air quotes, invested in the hobby. But anyway, I said, hey, can I talk to your wife? And he put her on. I think her name is Alexandra. And I said, I wanted to ask you, I said, so Taylor gets to spend all this money on radio equipment. What do you like spending money on? And I think she said pillows and other home furnishings. But I asked her what she thought of his hobby, and she said she loves it. She said it lets Taylor stay in touch with his nerdy side. I don't think I'll ever forget that. And she's exactly right. Ham radio lets us stay in touch with our nerdy side. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go through the list of other Aries and MCOM events throughout the week, and then I'll open it up for rechecks or one last call for additional check-ins. So let's go down here to, okay. Yeah, other local Aries or MCOM nets that are called during the week. On Monday nights at 1900 hours, the Powhatan Aries net meets on 147315. Also on Mondays at 2000 hours, the Goochland County MCOM net meets on the 147270 repeater. On Tuesday nights, the Dinwiddie County Aries net meets at either 1900 or 2000 hours on the 147390 repeater. Also on Tuesday nights, the Chesterfield Aries net meets at 2100 hours and that's on the 147360 repeater. Also on Tuesdays, you can check in to the Chesterfield County Aries WinLink net. More information is available at chesterfieldaries.us. chesterfieldaries.us. On Wednesdays, all day long, you can check into the WinLink Wednesday net by sending a WinLink message to David, KN4LQN, at winlink.org. On Wednesday nights at 2000 hours, the Tri-Cities MCOM net meets on the 147390 repeater. And I think that takes us to the end of the list of the other nets. At this time, I'll give one more call for additional check-ins and or rechecks. Please call now with your call sign phonetically.
That's it, dude.
All right, nothing heard. We had 15 check-ins this evening, 16 with myself, and that's a pretty good list. I will now proceed to close the net, but before I do, I would like to thank all those stations who participated and the stations that stood by to give us the time for this net. I would also like to thank the MRA repeater group for the use of this repeater. The Metro Richmond Aries net is now closed, and this repeater is returned to regular amateur radio use. 73, everyone. This is KO4UOR. Clear.
KQ4OGG, K4ARX. You still around? That's MERS. I'm interfering with.
K4ARX, KQ4OGG. I'm here.
Hey, driver, I just wanted to see if you wanted to try on Simplex there. Give it a shot. You might be 4 miles away here, I think.
Yeah, so, is this, which one? Is this Jason or William? I couldn't remember.
Yes, sir, it's the latter. William, K4ARX. I'm downtown up here near the hospital.
Good deal. Yeah, switching to 2-meter call channel. Stand by.
All right. If it don't work, we can come back here. KQ4OGG, QSY, K4ARX. KQ4OGG, Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Golf Golf, Kilo 4 Alpha Romeo X-Ray, K4ARX calling. Oh, he's barely down there. KQ4OGG, KQ4OGG, K4ARX calling. KQ4OGG, KQ4OGG, K4ARX. Yeah, I can hear you way down in the noise there. It's way down in the noise. You got any extra power, K4ARX. Hey, if you can still hear my voice, go ahead and boost your power a little bit. K4ARX. You may have to change radios. All right, we'll try a little bit more power here. Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Golf Golf. Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Golf Golf, K4ARX. Here's the monitor key here. Monitor off. KQ4OGG, KQ4OGG, K4ARX. Even if I hit him with 100 plus watts, I don't think I would hear him, so. Oh, that was faster. KQ4OGG, K4ARX.
Kilo Quebec 4, Uniform Echo India.
Okay, not so loud there, pilot. Yeah, I got you, Jason. Sorry for the delay. K4ARX.
I heard you guys trying to go to Simplex. I was sleeping on my truck. It had a lot of sand in here, and I was tired of my toe sealing it.
Yeah, that's okay. I could barely hear him. He was way down in the noise there. He might be a little further away than I thought he was, but I still don't know the area very well. I've only been here a few years, and I'm not the historian of Richmond, that's for sure.
Yeah, copy that. I'm from here anyways. I'm from Greensboro, but I know some of Richmond goes to my pickups and deliveries and stuff. Yeah, I could barely hear them where I was at, and I'm only like a couple miles from the repeater.
You could hear him on Simplex with the HT?
I could barely hear him on the repeater.
I was hearing him just fine. Interesting. KQ4OGG, did you make it back over here? K4ARX in the group.
Yeah, this is KQ4OGG. I couldn't hear you at all on the Simplex channel. I think you said you could barely hear anything at all, but I couldn't tell anything over the noise. But yeah, I'm from Eastern North Carolina myself, so I don't know this area all that well either. But I am fairly close to downtown. Yeah, Jason, I guess, said I wasn't making it into the repeater that well. Was that correct? I thought I was getting in, but let me know. Well, now you are. It might have been when I had my radio in the truck. It was probably blocking the reception, but I got you good, clear, no picket fences.
Yeah, Jason over there is portable in the Freightliner. I think he said he stepped out, but yeah, you sound fine in the repeater. No problems at all.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize he was on a handheld. Well, yeah, I was running low power earlier on the repeater. I stepped it up to my high power on the 2 meter or on the simplex, but still couldn't reach it. But I put it up on my mid power here to get into the repeater, make sure I was getting in. But yeah, I was wondering if Jason, I was wondering if he ever monitored the 2 meter out on the road, because when I got into AM, I really thought, I didn't think there'd be a lot of traffic, but I thought there would be more than there is. It's almost rare to get anybody to come back to you at all. I mean, I drive all over, the eastern part of the country anyway, from pretty much all areas east of I-35, all the way out to Texas and back and all that all the time. But not a whole lot of traffic on 2 meter, at least on simplex, which I know you don't get a whole lot of range, but still, it's pretty rare to get somebody on. Yeah, sometimes I keep it on the National Call Center. I can hear them, but I know they're like way out, so I don't even try. But yeah, I do hear them talking or trying. And then there's some days, it depends what mood I'm in, if I want to play radio. But I guess it all depends on, the line of sight, propagation, propaganda, and all that. But I do hear them out there on the road.
Now, when I used to drive, and often it was at night, most of the traffic I've heard on 146.52 was usually out there around the Interstate 65, north and south. And I'd have a couple guys over near Corbin, Kentucky, and Bowling Green, that particular area over there. Sometimes up the middle of Indiana, sometimes out in Peoria, Illinois, depending. Sometimes Ohio, which is not I-65. Sometimes Pennsylvania, which is across the turnpike up there. It just depends on where you are and what time. And I've had more traffic at midnight than I have during the day.
Okay, well, I don't drive that much at night anymore. I wouldn't have thought that. I guess maybe just less interference. You hear a little bit further, possibly, but yeah, I definitely hear some people, like summits on the air, that kind of thing, once you get close to the mountains in West Virginia, North Carolina, that kind of thing. I'll hear people talking that are, talking to each other, which I don't get into those conversations. But I guess I was more specifically talking about, people on the roads, talking to each other, more similar, I guess, to what CB kind of can be, even though the CB waves are such nonsense now. But I don't even have a CB in my truck anymore. But yeah, I just kind of wish there were a few more truckers and stuff like that on the road with hams, but maybe one day. Just a quick question, Sivopi. You guys don't talk on All-Star, do you?
Personally, I do not. I do Echolink on occasion and DMR, but mostly analog. To give you an idea what I'm doing here, pretty much cover low VHF, 70 centimeters GMRS, a little bit of 900. I can listen to 1200. We've got some 1200 equipment around here, so pretty much cover everything over HF. There's so much RFI here. It's a no-go for HF analog for me. And all my antennas are indoors. I'm on the bottom floor of a first floor apartment, well, 4 floors apartment, and that explains that short range. If I had an outside antenna, it'd be a lot better. And there is traffic during the day. I've talked to a couple stations, and they have come out of, for instance, Orlando, Florida, and they were following each other. One of them stopped up here north of town, the other one all the way up into Boston, I think it was, over the holiday. So depending on when people travel, and I'm right next to the interstate, so I've got a good chance of hearing people on 5.2.
Okay, yeah, I don't run any All-Star or DMR, any of that stuff. I just have the Icon 2730, and that's about all I do. It's just mostly all 2-meter of, hitting repeaters around the country. I'm still programming as I go, but I'm pretty novice. Well, heck, I'm an amateur extra, and I feel like a rookie still.
Yeah, I think we got some catching up to do. I had at one point a PowerWorks DX70 or 750, and it was a 1,000-channel radio. It was dual band. It was part 90, but there's enough memory in that for instance, programming all repeater pairs for GMRS. There's only 8, but you could program in for each 8 times whatever, almost 1,000. You could have all 38 CTCSS tones plus 7, 8 channels without, and then have still leftover channels. That was a plan, but I've stopped driving, so I don't use those anymore. Of course, they kind of quit on the VHF side. They only worked on the 70 centimeters, so they were kind of trash after about a year. But mostly I just did the 2-meter simplex. I did some HF. I did a lot of 11 meters. I kept that just in case.
Kilo Quebec 4 Uniform Echo India in the group. I'm looking at getting the Yazoo 991A, which is basically a shack in a box. Got 2 meters, 70 meters, 160, the 6 meters on it. I'm planning to put that in the truck. But yeah, that's the funny part. I usually talk more on 2 meters, 70 meters than I do anything else. I mean, I've got an app on my phone where I can talk on ham, but it's just it don't feel like the real McCoy deal. But yeah, I spent most of my time on 2 meters, 70 meters, but that's the radio I'm looking at getting. KQ4OGG. Yeah, I haven't tried any of the digital modes or any of that stuff yet. I've only had for license for about a year, and like to get into it, but I need to get my general class first. Or well, I guess I don't have to, but I was hoping to get into some of the HF stuff, which I know I have some privileges on the technician, but haven't done any of that stuff yet. But I got a lot of hobbies, so just takes a while for the money to come in to get into some of these expensive hobbies, and these radios are pretty expensive.
Yeah, they are. I understand the multiple hobbies aspect. I've got them too. I do lots of analog scanning as well. I scan anything that's not digital, whatever's left. I wonder, have you met the tire man yet? Where's he coming from? K4ARX.
Yeah, he changed out the tire while the net was going on there, and had just finished up right when the net ended. It was kind of funny. Right after he drove off is when you contacted me there after the net ended.
Okay, take a turn, Jason. K4ARX.
Kilo Quebec 4 Uniform Echo India in the group. What I was trying to ask with you, your question of the play got answered. But no, that's what I'm planning to do is get that radio with an 8 dots 120, and then I found a duplexer where I can hook up just a one antenna to the 8 dots where it will separate the 2 meters, 70 meters, and then HF. So like I said, I talk more on 2 meters and 70 meters off my little HC and everything. And tell you I'm having a blast. And yes, as a technician, you do have some HF privileges. 10 meters, you got from 28 300 megahertz to up to 28 500 megahertz.
Ooh. We don't need none of that tonight.
What the heck was that?
Sound like somebody keyed up the mic with some music in the background. That wasn't me, but I couldn't place the song. I guess that's not supposed to happen from what I remember, but heck, I don't care about any of that really. Well, I mean, not that I don't care about the rules, but I don't think that was intentional, whoever it was.
That's interesting. I didn't hear anything. Let's see. OGG, you got any time left in your clock? You have to hunt for a truck stop to go park for the night?
Sitting at my west tunnel here.
Well, you're not OGG.
My truck just got fixed, done today. I'm just waiting for a load. No, I got a fresh clock. I'm just waiting for a load.
Yeah, this is KQ4OGG. I got like an hour and a half left, but I think I'm just gonna call it a night. I'm here parked at a drop yard of ours, which I've stayed at a few times before. Never heard anything that I couldn't do it, so I guess I'm gonna do it again and just take off early about 4 a.m. I gotta head down to South Carolina with this load.
Oh, okay. Good deal. I've done that quite a bit and break the rules. You're not supposed to do that. Well, you know, when you're out of hours, what are you going to do? Part of the reason why I drove at night and, you know, get in as many hours as I could and get to a spot, you know, after you probably dropped a load and picked up another one as usual, parking the truck stop during the day. Most everybody else is on the road then. So finding a parking spot was easy. But then again, sometimes there was those times where you had to just stop in the drop yard and drop a trailer, or, you know, just stay connected to one you got, or drop the load for the next guy and get out of his way and just slide up under an empty and stay there for 10 hours. K4ARX. Was there a braking station?
I didn't mean God order. I'm sorry.
Yeah, braking station, it's JDH.
Yeah, recognizing a N2JDH, I believe it was. Go ahead and take a turn. K4ARX in the group.
I don't think I want to take a turn on 95, but hey, how's it going? Sorry, I heard you guys in the truck. That's up about the 14 gears.
Engine 15.
Yeah, there's a couple other drivers out there. I think they either shut down for the night or have been shut down for a while. And I'm a former driver myself. Your audio is low into the repeater, but you've got a good signal. I understand you're on I-95?
Roger that. Yep, I'm on 95, just passing Bell's Road. Coming in from work. Matter of fact, I parked my tractor. Done for the day. I can kick it off tomorrow. Need a mental health day.
Yeah, good deal. Okay. You're south of me a few miles. I'm almost right downtown. I usually tell people I'm right across the I-95 from the hospital up here, right under the Lee Street Viaduct. Yeah, you got to watch those Western Express drivers. They're right out there with all the others. Not to name a few, but you know what they are. We all know what they are. And we all take some flack. Heck, I started with Werner and finished out with some, I guess, upper echelon companies. Just depends on who you are, in your opinion. Somebody pick it up, K4ERX.
Kilo Quebec for Uniform Echo India Group. I'm a Western Express driver. I'm doing pretty good here. I'm making good money as LP. Making $8,000 a week take home. I feel like I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, but how much of that you put back in your truck? And fuel?
KQ4OGG. You owner operator you talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure what you're, that's a lot of money you're paying for fuel. That's a big difference. K4ARX, I started at Warner's as well, and, we all start somewhere, but I drive for EPS these days.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I got you. There's been a couple other drivers that's been in and out of here, locally here. I think we got a local, net control operator that probably works for Estes. I'm not really sure. I've only heard rumors, but yeah. And it seems to be a popular thing, or it used to be a popular thing. And we appreciate you guys keeping America moving out there.
Well, I appreciate somebody appreciates it. Yeah, the novelty wears off after a while. I've been trying to look for a more local trucking job. It's hard to get out of trucking a little bit, but one day I might. I actually had a local job for a little while, for about 6 months, and then that contract got canceled. I had to go back over the road. But it is what it is.
Thank you, sir, for the compliment. Kilo Quebec for Uniform Echo India said it.
Crap out here. I had to go from the 12 all the way up to 9. Moving everything. And then come down to a river and finish out in Mosley. That's what I can't do. I'm done.
Well, be careful what you say. It's easier than you think to get out of the industry. Trust me, I've done it. But it's probably just as easy to get back into it again. You work hard enough. I don't know. Sore subject. It's kind of hard to think about and understand, and you go through those things again. It seems like the industry is just starting to fail, and they're just not making the money that they used to make.
I would say that's true. I'm not making the money I used to make. I don't know, another 4 years. If it really keeps going down, I'll probably get out of it. But I might see what the next few years has to offer us in the country.
Kilo Quebec for Uniform Echo Indian Group. I'm going to stay as long as I can. I've been with Western since 2000, making good money, and they're going to have to pull me from this steering wheel of the money I'm making.
That ain't bad.